So we're going to talk a little bit about how we've never had more control over the way in which we're perceived and the way that we create ourselves to be perceived. For example, this will be what I throw up on Twitter in the next few hours. So even if I completely bomb the next 10 minutes, because I've never done this before, no one will ever know it but you.
Okay, so, right, so I say this all the time, right? We live in a world where not getting caught in a lie is the same as telling the truth, right? And and you know, years ago when mp3.com was around, the joke was, oh, well, you know, file sharing's okay. It's not really like piracy. It's just people sharing stuff. And you know, the thing is, you know, if you went into a restaurant and you wanted to, you know, and you had a good meal, you'd leave a tip, even though you don't have to leave a tip, right? And the response to that I used to always give was, yeah, but now you can stiff every waiter in the world simultaneously, right? And that wasn't really true then, but now it kind of is. So how did you become an expert on social media? And let's not call it social media, let's call it digital entertainment, because social media doesn't seem to mean anything anymore.
So, right. For me, it really started with growing up in a pressure cooker.
It's right there.
Of being the first of 3 girls in a Persian household, immigrant household, where anything other than homework and housework was highly suspect. It was not about being a part of American culture. It was not about camps and sports. It was about being a proper Persian girl. And of course, that plan completely backfired on my family to their horror, because we lived in Erie, Pennsylvania, and from the day that it launched, I was absolutely glued to the Moon Man. So that's where it really started, and I knew right then and there. When my parents said, hey, we're moving to California, I was like, this is awesome. Because I knew that there was MTV there.
Right.
So I essentially became obsessed with communication, media, and why we create stories, why we tell stories, what stories resonate. I remember as a kid, like, baby Jessica fell down the well, and everyone was glued to their TVs, and why do we care about that? And everyone was crying, and I don't know if everyone remembers that, but it was one of those things I remember as a kid. So, you know, started researching, studying history, as we've known it, as communication, and did a lot of college radio, and started doing a lot of events on the campus, and learned a lot about how things like that work, and of course, fell madly in love with digital, mobile, and social, as it started to become more of a daily part of our lives.
Okay, so this is a slide. So this says crossroads, commerce, social, entertainment, and media. And so this is the question I have to ask you, because it feels like everybody kind of understands social, right? Social is the virtual water cooler, right? But the thing that makes me crazy is that it feels as though every 18 months or so, we are suddenly at the crossroads, right? We were at the crossroads just before the bubble, you know, at 2000. And then, you know, I'm old enough to remember the bubble and the crash, and everybody had $1 billion idea, and you know, it was millions of people chasing, you know, 1%. Everybody had a business plan. They come in, they'd say, you know, I have this business plan. It's worth, you know, we're going to make billions of dollars. All we need is 1% of the people online to follow us, right?
Okay.
And so there were millions of people chasing thousands of opportunities. Now it feels like there's billions of people chasing millions of opportunities. So like, how big is what's going on now? Why is it important now?
So yes, we've been at many crossroads in history, and we've all we live in the spin doctor sort of town of crossroads and crossroads, but never, you know, never before have you seen 86% of the sort of influencer media consuming population are either blogging, consuming bloggings, contributing to blogs, where 92% of us are using Facebook on a regular basis. 88% of you are probably going to tweet today at some point, hashtagging TEDxHollywood.
Why is this important?
Why is this important? We've had the tools before, we've not been using them. We are using them, we are consuming them, we are yearning for them, we want them. This is what's the platform that's helping us create oodles and oodles of content.
Right, but it feels like we fell off a precipice. It feels like, this is like all those charts that you see now where, da-da-da-da, everything sort of dances along and it grows kind of slowly and then it goes like a hockey stick. It's just completely vertical, right? I need to understand why that's important and why it's important now. What's different now?
So why it's important now is because you have, so your favorite slide.
Yes.
The rich kids of Instagram. If you don't know who they are, you should. They're hilarious.
Well, she's saying this is my favorite slide because I've recently been to South by Southwest and I've been to the Ultra Music Conference in Florida.
Ken also loves this slide because you say things like, why are you stealing my mind share? Why are these people putting out senseless content? Like, what's the point of what they have to say?
Right, because the other thing I'm fond of saying is that, the internet is like 10,000 gnats flying around my head. It used to be email. Now it's 300 emails a day. It doesn't, there isn't that time. I don't know where it came from because I still have to do all the other crap that I had to do.
Yeah, well, you see gnats, I see opportunity.
Okay.
They're a brand. They're creating content. People care. They're getting regrammed. Lots of heart stamps for them. Okay? In my mind, and this is anyone who knows me knows that I spend, whether you like it or not, I'm going to talk to you about the power moguls of influence in the digital space and who they are. So this is something that everyone should be paying attention to, especially in our industry. You've got, people like Kim K, who some people would say didn't get paid to throw up this McDonald's Instagram. Some people say maybe so, sort of suspect because she's in front of the step and repeat, but yet seems like 250,000 people really love her. But I think we accept her regardless of whether or not she's paid or not. We accept her as she is.
Right, but this is the point I was making earlier about not getting caught in a lie. I mean, the thing about it is like no one seems to care whether this is paid for or not paid for.
No one cares.
But see, I disagree. I think we have a tyranny of transparency. I mean, I think we're at a moment where Anthony Weiner lied.
These particular fans do not care, right?
Okay.
Now,
right, she's not running for Congress.
Michelle Phan's fans care. This woman is responsible for moving more product, according to Lancome insiders, than most of the A-list talent that they sort of do big endorsement deals with. She is one of the driving forces in beauty, an influencer in digital, and just amazing.
Right, but if they did write her a giant check, then would people listen to her?
I think that why people are listening to her is because she created herself. She, on her own time, on her own dime, came out, put out 200 videos on YouTube teaching girls, Asian girls to start with, how to put on makeup for a job interview, for prom, to go on a date, morning makeup, nighttime makeup. It's because, she wanted a job at Shiseido, she didn't get it, and instead she started making her own content. And now 8 million people a month say, we love your content. It's a lot of people. Cup of Joe, more than 5 million mommy bloggers a day, or mommy bloggers, mommies going to Cup of Joe, checking out her awesome mommy blog. I love Joy. She's an amazing pinner. She's got 14.5 million followers, and she's basically telling you what some of the coolest things are, sort of in the beauty, fashion, home space. A lot of repins. And of course, Ken's favorite Gangnam Style. 1.2 billion views, generating something to the tune of $8 million in revenue.
That's just revenue off YouTube. That's just YouTube revenue.
That's right. That doesn't even begin to quantify touring, appearances, endorsements. How many people bought this fryer? A lot of people bought this fryer when Oprah put this up on her Instagram. Been hugely impactful to the T-Fry, Actifry.
Right. So what's in it for them? I'm trying to understand what's in it. I mean, I get the idea that they become celebrities, like Kim Kardashian's famous for being famous, and you have all these people they get more famous. What sort of to put this in perspective for us?
So we're going to talk for a few minutes about Generation C, where we're going, where we've been. Where this is the generation of people that care about connection, creation, community, and curation. It's the like generation. We're watching TV, surfing on our iPads, texting on our phones. We're consuming content at such a rigorous you can't get enough bandwidth at this point, right? The way we want to purchase things, the way we want to consume things is just basically essentially changed. So where this is all going is, we'll get to that in a few seconds, but really it's a shift in purchasing power and communication power. More than anything, who's generating the content and why. It's no longer coming from a traditional studio. It's not like those sort of formats don't matter. It's just so does this, that we're equal to now.
Right. This is the elimination of friction. I mean, that's what's really going on, is that, we were in a world where if you needed to buy something, you had to get up, you had to put your shoes on, you get in your car, and you had to go buy it.
Yeah.
Now you can either buy it on Amazon and wait a day, you can go to some website where they'll deliver it, you can get it, you can download it if it's downloadable.
Or you can go to Cup of Joe and, read about the awesome stroller she's going to tell you about and then order it right off,
Right.
affiliate program right off her blog.
But that's my point, is that now you can get whatever you want, whenever you want it, wherever you are, and it is 10,000 gnats flying around my head because everybody's trying to sell me crap. So my thing is, I'm now willing, in a friction-free world, I'm willing to pay for friction. I want people to keep stuff away from me. I want people to tell me that I don't have to read all this stuff.
Awesome.
Right?
So they're not going away, Ken. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. They're going to start advertising on the inside of my eyelids.
I'll take your phone away, though. I'm happy to take your phone away.
Please.
Mister, I'm always on my phone. iPad. No, you're good. So let's Generation C.
For those of you who've never seen me without my phone.
Yeah, me too. No phone. Amazing. Generation C, you're watching content on your mobile, watching it on your tablet. You're not watching as much TV as you used to, but when you are, you're on those other two devices. You like short, sort of juicy bites, snack bites of content. And as you can see, this phenomenon is not growing. It's in fact, it's growing. And YouTube announced 6 days ago that they had 1 billion views a month at this point, which is, astronomical. It's pretty amazing. Fun stuff.
Staggering.
This is where I think we're headed. This is where we're going.
Right.
We're headed into the realm of what you consume will be dictating by your own accord what you want to purchase, what you want to buy. It'll be driven, your interests, your likes.
Right, which I think is actually, I think there's actually a good part of this, which is in order to keep our attention, because it's so competitive, people are going to have to create more engaging content, tell better stories, and I do think that they'll have to be more transparent. They'll have to be more authentic.
What does that mean, transparent?
What I mean is that you can't actually, in other words, you can't go on Twitter and say, gee whiz, someone must have hacked my Twitter account and posted a picture of a man's penis.
Right.
Right. So, and get away with it if it's not true.
Right.
Right. So that's sort of my point, is that we are entering a world where, you can't get away with not telling the truth.
You're just held accountable.
Right.
Right.
And if brands have a good story to tell, they'll survive. And if they don't have a good story to tell, they won't survive.
Right. Well, I actually think that they're just going to be new brands that are born of this opportunity. They're not necessarily the traditional brands that you're seeing, but you're going to see a lot of these content creators creating their own product lines, their own stores. They're going to get out there and create their own distribution.
No, but I think the filter is the consumers now. So that's the thing. That's the thing that's changed, is that it used to be people would sit at home and go, I'm as talented as Kim Kardashian. Why can't I be Kim Kardashian? And now you can.
For sure.
Right.
Including me? No. So, Ken's favorite question. Can everyone and anyone be a self-contained media company? And we believe, yes, we believe that with all of the tools, all the verticals, all the content that's out there to sort of be created, I think that it's an undoubted, conversation. It's not even a conversation. It's a fact that you can be your own media company, and people are. We all are.
Okay, they're going to throw us off. Our next speaker is going to show how she actually bridged that gap and turned it into a business.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you.